So, I've been asking the question, was it NXIVM that personally targeted me and were using my story and plagiarising it, or was it simply a group of online trolls that I may have been connected to from the outside world and also went through TikTok? Now, let's just see what ChatGPT says. How far would a trolling group go to target someone that they have scraped data on and humiliated with chosen one storylines, etc.? And let's hear what ChatGPT has to say about it.
Short answer, anywhere from petty public mockery to seriously dangerous sustained abuse, including doxxing, deepfakes, impersonation, offline stalking, or even swatting, depending on who's behind it, how much time/skill money they have, and how much they want to hurt or control you. Below, I'll map the typical escalation, explain why chosen one storylines are useful to them, list warning signs, and give clear next steps and reporting options, UK-focused where relevant. Hack, how far they can and do go. Low, medium harassment, very common. Public shaming, mock accounts, mass messaging, spam, coordinated pile-ons, fake praise, chosen one narratives used to humiliate or isolate a person publicly. These are easy to do with scraped profiles and sock puppet accounts. Harvard Chan School of Public Health, targeted deception and psychological abuse. Impersonation, gaslighting, repeatedly denying facts, pushing false narratives, private messages meant to isolate you from friends, family, and tailored narratives like "you're the chosen one" to confuse or recruit. These tactics mirror classic psychological abuse patterns and mobbing. SOS violence conjugal, data exploitation, doxing, publishing private personal data, home address, employer, family info, gathered by scraping public and leaked sources. Doxing is a common escalation tool used to intimidate or enable further attacks. NOG, technical escalation, serious. Deepfakes, fake accounts that impersonate you to damage reputation, account takeovers, targeted phishing, and malware to compromise devices. AI tools have made this easier and cheaper. Department of Homeland Security, physical world danger, rare but real. Swatting, false emergency calls to provoke armed police response. Stalking, threats to family, or coordinated harassment offline. These are less common but have happened and can be life-threatening. Wired stash, why a chosen one storyline is useful to them. It's mimetic. Strange stories attract attention, encourage sharing, and can make the target look unstable or delusional. It's isolating. It can be spun to make friends, family doubt the target or to recruit sympathizers who will further harass. It's controllable. Fabricated narratives are easy to scale across platforms and adapt to the target's reactions. These are classic trolling mobbing techniques. Traces of therapy. Signs the harassment is escalating towards serious harm. Personal private info appears online. Address, workplace, family photos. Accounts you don't recognize are created in your name, or platforms remove your content citing complaints. You receive targeted phishing, malware links, or suspicious friend requests from multiple accounts, threats of violence, or posts encouraging others to show up at your home, work. Unusual emergency responses, e.g., police showing up after false reports. If any of these happen, treat it as potentially dangerous. Knock hack. Immediate practical steps. Do this now. 1. Preserve evidence. Screenshots, URLs, timestamps, saved messages. Store copies offline and out of sight and back them up. 2. Lock down accounts. Change passwords. Enable two-factor auth. Check trusted devices' sessions and remove unknown ones. Use unique passwords or a password manager. Stop engagement. Don't reply or argue publicly. Engagement is fuel. 4. Tighten privacy. Make social profiles private. Remove personal contact data. Review old post comments and remove identifying info. 5. Scan devices for malware and change passwords from a different secure device if you suspect compromise. 6. Tell trusted people, friends, employer, family, what's happening so they don't be misled by false narratives. Harvard Chan School of Public Health. Reporting and support, UK. Report to platforms where abuse occurs, TikTok, X, Instagram, etc. Use their harassment, doxing report flows, and keep the report IDs. Action fraud, national reporting. In England, Wales, Northern Ireland, report cybercrime to Action Fraud, reporting page, phone. In Scotland, contact Police Scotland. Action fraud, NCSC guidance for phishing and account compromise. Follow their advice for technical mitigation. NCSC Specialist Help. The Cyber Helpline UK and Victim Support can give practical help and next steps. Consider contacting a solicitor if threats or doxing escalate. The Cyber Helpline. When to involve police emergency services. Immediately call police if there are credible threats to life or safety, or if someone turns up at your home. For suspected swatting, false emergency calls, or real-world threats, treat it as urgent. If the police aren't helpful, document their response and escalate to Action Fraud NCA and ask for a crime reference number. Wired final note. How likely is full escalation? Most trolling stays online and hurts emotionally and reputationally. However, a smaller, more committed group or a wolf pack that treats harassment as entertainment can and has escalated to doxing, deepfakes, device hacks, stalking, and swatting. The tools, AI, data scraping, cheap VoIP, make escalation easier and cheaper than before, so take targeted, persistent campaigns seriously. Traces of therapy. If you want, I can help you draft a short message for family friends explaining what's happening, build a checklist of exactly which account settings to change and how, or produce a tidy incident log template you can use for reporting, with fields for URLs, screenshots, timestamps, platform response IDs, police reference numbers. Which of those would be most useful right now?
So even though I've got a contact like Action Fraud or cybercrime or some advice about cults and things like this, I decided to ask ChatGPT, what are the most well-known criminal groups in the UK to use these tactics? Could they be linked with major criminal networks?
Short answer, yes. Both dedicated cybercrime gangs and larger organized criminal networks, and sometimes state-aligned troll farms, use the tactics you described. Doxing, impersonation, deepfakes, targeted harassment, phishing, and account takeovers. And those groups frequently cooperate, subcontract, or trade services with bigger criminal networks. Below is a concise map of who does this in against the UK, how they connect to broader organized crime, and what to do if you suspect involvement. Who is known to use these tactics, examples and types. 1. Dedicated cybercrime gangs, ransomware, fraud, extortion. Well-organized groups that run large-scale hacks, extortion, and identity fraud. They use data breaches, dox datasets, phishing, and deepfakes to steal, extort, or manipulate targets. The NCA-NCSC treat these as a core cybercrime threat to the UK. National Crime Agency 2. State-aligned troll farms, hacktivist groups. Groups tied to or sympathetic to foreign states, e.g., pro-Russian networks, run large disinformation and harassment campaigns, sometimes targeting UK individuals and institutions. Europol and UK government actions have targeted groups like No Name 05716 and exposed Kremlin-linked troll factories. Europol 3. Transnational organized crime groups, Eastern European, Russian, Balkan, etc. These groups increasingly add cyber capabilities or buy cyber services, malware, stolen data, SIM swap, dox lists from specialist operators. The UK has actively sanctioned members of prolific cyber gangs, for example, Evil Corp, because their activity affected UK victims. Gov.uk. 4. Ad hoc raid communities, sadistic teenage networks, loosely organized English-speaking groups, sometimes juvenile, who coordinate harassment, sadistic abuse, and doxing for kicks. UK policing has warned about this new generation of offenders who work together online to harass and exploit victims. Durham.police.uk 5. Extremist political harassment groups and single-issue mobs, far-right and other extremist networks use coordinated harassment, doxing, and disinformation to silence or intimidate people. Government reports and the Online Harms Workstream call this out. Gov.uk. 6. Smaller criminal cells or individuals working for hire, e.g., private harassers, revenge porn actors, or people for hire on criminal marketplaces who will perform targeted trolling, swatting, or harassment for payment. These operate on darknet markets or via social platforms. How they connect to major criminal networks. Service marketplace model, specialist cyber operators, data brokers, doxers, malware authors, SIM swap experts, deepfake creators, sell services to larger organized crime groups, drug traffickers, fraud gangs, even human trafficking rings. The buyers use the cyber tools for intimidation, fraud, or to discredit witnesses. NCSC NCA analysis describes this ecosystem. ransomware extortion actors cooperating with wider criminal markets. NCSC, money laundering and logistics. Proceeds from cyber fraud are laundered through the same networks that move illicit goods or provide physical services, creating ties between online criminals and offline organized crime. Post, state or political overlay. State-aligned actors sometimes subcontract harassment to criminal groups or use the same toolkits, bots, troll farms, doxed leaks, to target civic actors. Europol Gov reports show cross-pollination between political trolling and criminal cyber activity. Europol shows specific named examples: UK Impact, Evil Corp, a prolific Russian cybercrime gang whose members were sanctioned for attacks that affected UK organizations. This is an example of an organized cybercriminal group whose tactics, extortion, data theft, impersonation, overlap with the harms you described. Gov.uk, no name 05567, and similar pro-Russian hacker troll collectives used for disruption and harassment against UK targets, targeted by international law enforcement actions. Europol, local online raid crews, not always famous by a single name, but UK policing has warned of young, English-speaking sadistic online groups who coordinate doxing and humiliation. Durham.police.uk, how to judge whether a major organized network is involved. Red flags suggesting more than casual trolling, i.e. a criminal network or paid operation. Coordinated, persistent multi-platform activity over months. Use of doxed private records, land registry, leaked databases, or sold data that's not trivially available. Sophisticated technical attacks, SIM swap, account takeovers, malware, or high-quality deepfakes. Payments requested, ransom, extortion, or clear financial motive. Offline follow-through, stalking, people turning up, swatting. If you see these, treat the threat as serious and escalate to national authorities. See below. World Economic Forum. What to do if you suspect one of these groups. 1. Collect and preserve evidence, screenshots, headers, timestamps, any contact, payment requests. 2. Report to action fraud and include as much detail as possible. If there is immediate danger or threats to life, call local police. If you believe a large, organized, networked, or transnational actor is involved, ask for your case to be referred to the NCA's cyber teams. National Crime Agency 3. Report to platforms, TikTok, Instagram, etc., and request takedown. Keep platform report IDs. 3. Contact specialist support, victim support, the cyber helpline, or a solicitor experienced in cyber harm if doxing blackmail is present. Victim support 5. Limit damage, secure accounts, change passwords from a safe device, enable 2FA, scan for malware, and minimize public personal data. NCSC guidance is helpful for this. NCSC bottom line. The tactics you described are used by a wide range of actors, from juvenile raid crews to internationally organized cybercrime gangs and state-linked troll factories. Those specialist cyber actors commonly trade services with or are subcontracted by larger criminal networks. So yes, trolling campaigns can be part of or connected to major organized criminal activity. If you suspect that level of capability, doxing from leaked databases, deepfakes, swatting, extortion, escalate to national authorities, NCA action fraud, and preserve evidence. If you want, I can draft a concise incident report you can submit to actionfraud/NCA with the fields they want, or produce a checklist of technical steps, account settings, logs to capture, how to export headers, tailored to your platforms. Which would you like me to produce now?
So I'm just going to end this video briefly, just with a statement to say, it does look like all the things are there to get it sorted, but the barriers in getting this sorted are first, you've got to not let yourself get locked up in sections and have everybody tell you that it's in your head, because you will. Well, this is what I've gone through at least. Even though all this information is out there, there are so many people that are just not willing to take it on board, not willing to do the research, and there are, telling you for a fact, because I am one of these people, there are a ton of people going through this with nowhere to turn and the world around them letting it happen. And that's all I have to say for now, because when you guys find out what has happened to me, the things I've said and how they just sectioned me, this is so wrong, you know? So even, like, before you go to the police, before you go to mental health, I would go to action fraud, to be honest. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this mess because nobody else is helping me through this, in this sense. So big love.